Uh-oh, a lot of Walgreens stores shutting down. You guys see the title of this video. What is going on right now? I know the world is in flux and we're going through a change and possible recession coming up soon, but Walgreens is a place where a lot of people need to get their medication. So let's talk a little bit about it. Let's see what Benny's got to say on this one. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, subscribe. Let's do it.
We live in an atomized society, a society that really doesn't have much in common and is totally and completely antisocial, actually, in its founding and in its mooring. And that's not a good thing, I would argue. It's good to have places where everybody gathers and have things that people share with each other. It's good to you don't have a society, actually, if we don't believe in the same flag or if we don't have something in common with one another.
Right.
And it feels like the longer the timeline goes, the more isolated everybody gets. Didn't used to be that way, right? You rewind the clock back from 50s and 60s, 40s. There really wasn't that many restaurant options. There weren't that many drugstore options.
Yeah.
There weren't that many movie options, right? Everybody was going to the same movie,
the same place, yeah.
Drive-in movie on Friday night, drinking the same Coke, watching the same thing. Now, you could argue that that's bad, right? When you turn on the TV and there's like I Love Lucy and Gilligan's Island and Walter Cronkite and the Johnny Carson Show. And that's it. And that's all anybody watched in order, right? That's it. Those are the only options, in fact. You could make an argument, and I could make an argument, that that's actually bad. And it's good to have choice in entertainment and in media. And that certainly is an argument that I make. But there's also some value in sharing things with people, in having like...
some
just
diversity.
Like having brick and mortar stores that you're familiar with,
of course,
in every town. And even that culture, ladies and gentlemen, is ending. Walgreens is going to close a massive chunk of its 86,000 stores as the struggling retailer tries to cling on for dear life.
How are they struggling?
And why is this happening?
Yeah.
You know, again, Walgreens, any business should be in the business of opening stores, not closing stores. But you're starting to see this with Walmarts, Targets, fast food. It doesn't matter. Like America is constricting.
Yeah, it is.
Well, they blame inflation actually for the closures. The damn government, the effing government, spends too much money, and people can't afford, with the cost of inflation, to go and to buy pack Oreos, pack Band-Aids anymore at Walgreens. Insane. Walgreens has been closing a substantial number of 86,000 U.S. stores over the next 3 years. The pharmacy chain, which has not announced exactly how many they'll shutter, but they'll call on Thursday with the CEO, Tim Wentworth, said about 25% of the struggling stores will see changes. Of those changes will include the closure of a significant portion of these underperforming stores over the next 3 years. Walgreens.
So the reason why we do these videos is because we get a chance to talk a little bit about it and discuss things. Do you think maybe one of the reasons is a lot of these places overextended themselves at a certain point in time? Do we think maybe Walgreens and Walmart and all these places that are having to close a lot of stores, do we think they maybe added way too many in the beginning? Like when they were hot, they were just like, Walgreens on every corner. I mean, there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4. I can think of 4 Walgreens around here in just a 10, 15 mile radius, maybe. Did they overextend themselves? You got to ask yourself that question. Are they only scaling back what they need to? Are we really going to miss out on the stores that aren't going to be there anymore? Yeah, it's bad. Stores are closing. Inflation may be the blame, but also doing too much at one time may have also been the blame. I don't know for sure. I'm not breaking this down in a business mindset. I'm just throwing out an idea to you, YouTube, and you tell me what you think. That's what we're here for. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Did not immediately respond for clarification. We continue to face difficult operating environment, including persistent pressures from U.S. consumers and the impact of recent marketplace dynamics, which have eroded pharmacy margins, and our results and outlooks reflect these headwinds. They're talking about also how inflation has just crushed the capacity for the business to thrive, and also theft. Walgreens just announced they're closing 25% of their stores. This is Bidenomics. Also, Walgreens are kind of the stores that get hit by theft inside of these decrepit Democrat-run hellscapes, where it's illegal to steal something as long as it's under $1,000. More on that in a second. CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, closing stores, brick and mortar downfall. Yeah, Walgreens lays off hundreds of stores lay off hundreds as store closures loom. This is not a healthy economy. This is not healthy. Walgreens has laid off hundreds of employees in 2 different states amid cost-cutting measures. The company includes paring down its physical stores, reducing staff number. 650 jobs will be cut. We're focused on aligning our operational structure, blah, blah, blah. After careful review, we made the difficult decision to close our distribution centers in Connecticut, Orlando, Florida, Dayville, Connecticut, and Orlando, Florida, resulting in the elimination of 646,000 total roles. Walgreens stock, ladies and gentlemen.
$11.
Stocks should go up. This is what Walgreens stock has done in the
$11.
last 5 years. It has collapsed. Here's the max.
Completely.
You can see here, Walgreens stock is trading at like $10 right now. When was the last time it traded at $10? Right here. 1997.
Jeez.
Wow. I mean, what an absolute and total
Wow.
destruction of a once great American company. Major retail franchises shut doors after more than 30 years, become the latest casualty of insane government policy.
Proof that no one is safe.
It's crazy what's happening right now. Proof no one is safe. You know, you feel bad for the owners of these stores and for the people who work there.
Yeah.
Working in retail and working as a waiter. I worked in retail right at the mall all throughout college. And I worked as a waiter also at a mall all throughout college. This is how I survived. You must have these jobs.
Yeah.
I had nothing. I had $0 in my bank account. I love my parents. I do not come from a rich family. There was no wealth to throw around. So like, this is how I ate. This is how I ate and lived. And it's becoming untenable now. These policies are totally
same thing.
Different subject here. I'm not the only person who has wondered if America really needs either a Walgreens or a CVS on every single corner, and apparently we don't actually need that.
That's true. So Walgreens unfortunately had a very bad week this week. They announced they're going to close possibly thousands of underperforming stores. As you note, they have a lot of them around the country, but they're simply not making money a lot of times. And the CEO actually came out during their earnings call to say that the model is just broken.
So where do we go from here? I mean, that stock has been absolutely clobbered. It was nearly $100 at one point. It's trading about $12 now. Does it continue to fall, in your opinion?
So the stock actually hit a 27-year low this week, and it's been brutal, to be honest. And it's hard to see where they go from here. The CEO's comments really sum it up, that there are fundamental problems with the industry. Not only are we seeing smaller reimbursements for the drugs they sell, but foot traffic is lower too, and they're backing away from their clinics. So there's no easy fix here.
Yeah.
Man, we went to Walgreens in the hellscape of San Francisco, and you just wouldn't believe what it looked like. How the hell are you supposed to make any money when you have to do this to your store? When you don't even have a store, actually. What you have is a prison. For real.
Everything's locked up.
This is why Walgreens is doing so bad, in part. Watch.
Because of woke law enforcement and George Soros-funded district attorneys here in San Francisco, there is a rule on the books that you actually cannot be prosecuted for theft that is under $1,000.
What?
That means that stores like Walgreens have permanent and perennial theft. There is absolute looting happening at all times inside of Walgreens stores, leading to the franchise to close down many stores here inside of San Francisco. And then other stores have just essentially given up. This is what it looks like inside of a Walgreens store in Nancy Pelosi's district. Crime is such a problem in San Francisco at the Walgreens stores that you have to have gigantic monitors saying video recording in progress while you're in the middle of the store. And here, come over here, let me show you what they are protecting against.
Everything's covered up.
Swagger body wash behind lock and key. There you go. Can't get your Irish Spring on. And it goes like that down the entire
everything's
here
locked up.
For shampoos and conditioners and deodorants. Because everyone in San Francisco, in Nancy Pelosi's district, lives on the street. Prosecution has decreased theft at this store. Attention, we are watching you. Prosecution has decreased theft. Well, you're gonna have to show me that, because currently the law says that if you steal less than $1,000, you're not gonna be prosecuted.
Look at the stuff that's covered up. It's laundry detergent, the big thing, a gallon. I was about to say gallon. It might be more than a gallon. That thing is huge. How are people even stealing that? What are they, putting it in their pants? You're not just walking out with that, are you? Well, I guess no prosecution. So I'm trying to understand what no prosecution means. You call the police and say, I'm a Walgreens employee. Somebody's walking out with this 3 tubs of dish detergent or freaking laundry detergent. Come stop them. And they're like, nah, that's only a total of, $40. We're not coming. Somebody explain, please. My brain.
Thanks, Nancy. Now, you just being a regular American living in regular America would assume that you could just go in and get your beef jerky at any gas station or any convenience store or any Walmart, but not here. You have to call customer service actually in order to get beef jerky behind the glass here in San Francisco. So, need beef jerky? Call for help.
Gotta call help.
Thanks, Nancy.
Wow.
Okay.
What is
However,
that?
if you want plant-based
plant-based.
beef jerky,
Nobody wants
feel
that.
free.
Nobody wants
Run and
plant-based
gun,
beef
baby. You can take all the plant-based beef jerky you want. No locking that up.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's not just Walgreens. Speaking of California,
That's crazy.
One of the most iconic and long-standing McDonald's in
Well,
San
we
Francisco
know why McDonald's
has now
is not
closed
gonna-
its doors.
We know
along
why.
with the most iconic Arby's, which is shutting down on Hollywood. In Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard.
I didn't know it was because
After
of minimum
55
wage.
years, they have the same owner for 55 years. These monsters. Pizza Hut abruptly shuttered 15 restaurants. Hooters closed 40 restaurants.
Yeah, the one here.
Oh man. And the fast food industries have cut 10,000 correction
10,000
jobs since passing the minimum wage. Dude.
One more thing, then we're gonna get out of here, guys. It's the amount. It's simply. I'm gonna leave it up here on the screen for you so we can talk about it real quick. It's the amount of the stores. McDonald's on every corner, Walgreens on every corner. Arby's not so much, but having to keep up with that minimum wage too it's got to be difficult too for these businesses, especially ones, and we'll take it off here, especially ones that maybe they just have so many people, and more people are starting to choose healthier options. Inflation in prices and things like that are hitting us harder and going up. So we're choosing not to eat out as much, especially eating things like McDonald's, which we know is not good for us, and we've known that forever. People are starting to change their routines and their habits. So this is just a byproduct of those things. How I see it happening is there's going to be only what we need. There's not going to be Walgreens on every corner. They said it there on was that Fox? Walgreens was on every corner. There's 50,000 Walgreens, and it was the same way with Rite Aid. And it's the same way. What's the competitor to Walgreens? CVS. Those are everywhere. They're everywhere. So we can't, when we talk about this, we can say, wow, they're shutting down a lot. And they are. But some of them are needed, some of them aren't. And it sucks because people's jobs and livelihoods, like Benny was saying, in college, he worked at restaurants. I never worked in restaurants, but I worked at Subway and places like that, Foot Locker and all these retail stores, and that's how we got by. That's how we got by in college. So it sucks to see these things close, and I hope we can get better and have what we need. So places that are actually booming with business, that can afford to pay these people that work there, that can afford to be in these spaces, so these people can have these kind of jobs. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm here for entertainment purposes only. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Leave it in the comments. I will see you next time.